Greetings, my name is Nathan Espinal. Hello to the class and Professor Webb and whoever else might be watching this video. So just to recap, I got to do my internship this year through our internship program at PBA with a local small business called Dem Boys Marine Detailing. They're a company that focuses their services on refurbishing, maintaining, and cleaning any kind of boats, anywhere from 15-foot skiffs to big semi-yachts that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I kind of got to see the ins and outs of the marine detailing business, which was really cool. So since I gave my last report, my tasks and activities have not really changed much. I was primarily focused on learning and being trained in the ways of what to observe on a day-to-day basis at the job sites, the boats and the houses we would go to. They taught me what to look for in a sense of any weaknesses or inefficiencies for how we might be able to speed up the process of cleaning the boats, but more from a financial side, in order to keep track and properly utilize our products and services in the best way possible because they're still a small business and growing. I was analyzing and gathering data, putting it into an Excel sheet, and then simplifying it for my managers to let them know where I think we might be able to save some time, where we might be losing time, what we're doing well already, that kind of thing, as well as what kind of boats might bring us the most profit, so as to which customers we can focus on the best. So a lot of that had to come from the training I spent with in the first couple of weeks of this internship. I was going to job sites, kind of getting some hands-on work in, as well as observing what process might take the longest on certain boats and which processes can be maybe skipped over and still make the same amount of profit. So that was the basis of most of my work, just looking for things that can help make their business more efficient. As far as reflecting on the organizational culture, because they're such a small business, they're very close-knit with their employees, the managers are. So there's good connections there. Employees feel they can be honest with what they're able to how they're able to perform that day. Maybe if they're under the performance standard that the managers have set, they're able to explain themselves if it had to do with circumstances out of their control, whether the customer was being super particular about a certain part of the boat or a certain process, or maybe the boat was just in terrible condition and they weren't able to get as much progress done on that job as they thought they would. So as far as conflict resolution styles go, they had to learn to adapt very quickly. After being in this business for a few years that they had been, they explained to me that there's no certainties in this line of work. A lot of things out of your control can delay the process of getting the job done, either on time or well. So the biggest thing I learned was how to critically think on the move, on the fly, being witty with, even if it's just a short-term solution to get the job done for the day. Anything that can save them time, it ends up saving them money in the end. So I really got to grow in my critical thinking skills, being able to have an adaptable mindset to what the day might bring, because you never know with this kind of a job. As far as leadership styles go, they're very open to feedback. They know they're new to the business, but they know that they're doing a good enough job to maintain competitiveness as far as marine detailing goes. So they were open to observations I had, which was why I was brought in the first place, to kind of be another set of eyes, to have an outside point of view, especially because I ended up having a personal relationship with one of the managers by working with them over this past summer. They took my feedback honestly, and then they talked it over, and I even had some ideas get implemented throughout the summer that they believe were going to help their business in the long run. So as far as workplace training goes, like I said, it was very crucial in the first few weeks, if not a month, of my internship, because knowing what to look for and how the jobs are done, knowing the ins and outs and the specific details of how to get a certain job done is very important to understand before just making outside analysis of what might be going on. So my training had a lot to do with being on job, on site, even though a lot of my job, because it was on Excel, could be done remotely. They appreciated me going out there and just seeing with my own eyes what is actually going on in the day-to-day life of their business. As far as organizational values, they're not really clear on stating them per se, but as far as what is observed and what I see, they always value quality over quantity. So if they're supposed to have gotten through 3 boats in a day, but a specific boat is taking longer than they thought to get it perfect, they will stay on that boat as long as it takes just to get a job well done. Because they understand that word of mouth is a big part of their business and how it's growing in the marketing side of things. So they want to make sure that they are up to standard with whatever the customer wants. They custom everything to the customer's needs, whether that's part of their original process or not. They'll buy extra supplies if that's what it takes. Now, because they're a smaller business with not as many employees, this does take away from the time efficiency set of things. But as they're starting to grow financially and resources, they're going to hopefully be able to add on a few more employees where this is a more realistic possibility of spending an extra day or two on a boat if that's what it takes. Now, as far as whether this internship matches my calling or vocation I hope to go into in the future, I'd never seen myself as a marine detailing kind of guy, if you want to put it like that. But what I got to do for this business, giving my input, voicing concerns and where I saw a lack of efficiency, whether that came from the communication internally from the company or just external things that they might have more control over than they think. That is what really actually excited me and kind of got my juices flowing. I feel like it was something that excited me to be able to analyze and observe a company and then give an input that actually ends up being useful to a company and making more money or more profit, becoming more efficient, something like that. So I would say it kind of sparked my interest in maybe looking into being a consultant later on in life, something like that. And I also saw my skills grow in the Excel asset. Previously, I had known the basics of Excel, but knowing how I want to utilize it and how it can actually apply to a real world situation, I feel like I definitely grew. I had to get a little more creative than I would have thought, which was good for me, got me out of my comfort zone. So I learned that I have skills now that I can take into jobs that I would not have thought previously. So just an overall assessment of the internship. I really enjoyed it. I got to do some things I wasn't expecting to do and got to observe some things that really interested me. And it just made me certain that I do want to be in the business industry to some degree. Maybe it's as a consultant, maybe it's as a financial analyst, but I know that looking at the numbers and being able to simplify how to make a company more efficient and more well ran, whether that has to do with the inner working dynamics of boss to employee, or if that's just a numbers thing, statistics, data analytics, all that kind of stuff. It got me pretty excited about doing something similar to that in the future. So I really appreciated the opportunity to do this internship. It grew me a lot, and I think overall it was a pretty big success for me this semester. So thank you for this opportunity, Professor Webb, and I hope this video has everything you need in it. Thank you.